Welcome to On the Set. I'm Jeanne Marie D'Amico, and I have an exciting show for you about something that you have probably considered or you have done and you want to continue. And that's about tattoos, real tattoos. And my guest today is Billy Inkslinger, like slinging the ink. I love it. I love that name. Welcome, Billy.
Thank you.
So tell us about the real tattoos that you do. I mean, you have your own tattoos. I see you promote yourself.
Yes, I do. I tattoo myself now.
I was just going to ask you that.
Yeah, I got about 16 tattoos on myself. I've done about maybe 6 or 8 to myself by now.
Wow.
I can only reach certain spots.
Wow. So do you plan a tattoo? Do you have a feeling? I mean, how do you do that for yourself?
I plan it. It has to mean something. Most tattoos nowadays have a lot of meaning. They're not just pick something off a wall. They have a lot of meaning. I just tattooed this here, a symbol on my arm, on both arms. This means never give up.
Wow.
And on my left bicep, I'm a lefty tattoo artist, so I did this with my right hand for the first time ever. I drew with my right hand.
Oh my gosh.
This is motivation and inspiration.
Wow.
So that was done with me by my right hand, and I'm a lefty. So never give up, motivation and inspiration.
Ambidextrous,
Exactly.
that's what they call it.
You have to be, right?
Well,
it
you
was a
have to
challenge,
be.
and I like challenges.
Wow. So how old were you when you had your first tattoo?
18. 18, I got that in New Hampshire.
Okay, so
It was a
you
very
had
small
one
tattoo.
with someone else, and
Yeah,
then
a parlor up in New Hampshire. I don't remember the name, it was so long ago.
and so did you go to school? I mean, you look like an artist.
I'm self-taught. I've always, when I grew up when I was a young kid, I've always wanted to do tattooing. And I could draw, or I could paint. So I have the artistic background a little bit, but one day, 8 years ago, I just said, you know what, it's time. I wanted a dream to come true. I went out and bought everything I needed to do to start tattooing. I called up friends and I said, who wants a free tattoo? I'm tattooing.
Free tattoo, wow.
That's right.
And
That's
so
how I started.
who do you tattoo now? Do you have a location? What do
I'm
you
a
do?
traveling tattoo artist. I do tattoo parties, private functions. If you wanted to have a party at your house, you host the party. I come in, your friends come over.
I want to do that.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
Wow.
It's a great time. You get to meet a lot of people.
You're the star of the show.
Yeah.
You're the star of the
I try
party.
to be.
What kind of parties have you had? I mean, just they've been for meaning, or do they a celebration? Are they having it, or
You can
just
do anything from a birthday party, a bachelorette party, a bachelor party, just a good summer party, a 4th of July party.
What a great idea! I
Gives you
mean,
more reasons to have parties.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you're bringing back something that's creative. That's a creative. You know, we've done everything, all kinds of parties, but you kind of get bored with that.
The
you
same
know.
thing, yeah, over and over again.
Yeah.
But this puts a little zing in the party. It's something different, you know. People, you know, if I had booked a party with you and you said all of a sudden you let your friends know, it just doesn't stop. I mean, people coming out of the woodwork.
Well,
You're so excited.
Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling you're going to be very busy.
Yeah.
What are your favorite tattoos to do?
Memorial tattoos. I take them right out of my heart and I put them on your body.
You mean somebody that comes to you because they've had a death?
Yeah, lost loved one, military, parent, child. They'll come to me and they'll say, I want to do this. I had lost my child or my mom. They give me some pictures, some ideas. They ask me if I can draw something up. They'll come to me with a bunch of different pictures and ideas, and then I'll take that all together. I'll meet with them, and then I'll draw something up and give them a good work of art that they like.
Is that why you have a memorial on your back that you
Yeah,
could show people?
The memorial on my back was September 11th, 2001, our world changed. And I did this because I'll never forget that day, and I don't think anybody I know would ever forget where they were on September 11th, 2001.
Exactly.
And
Do you
it's
want to
tattooed.
show one of our
Sure.
cameras? Let's
Yeah,
see.
which camera should I do that to?
Let's see. So, camera
3.
3 over here.
I'm pretty tall, so you probably
You're not,
have
and
to.
you're not shy.
No, I'm not shy at all.
Okay.
As long as we get permission.
Yep.
This is a piece that I had done back in
Wow.
2002.
Wow, look at that.
I drew it all.
The
and I
Twin
went to an
Towers.
artist in Arlington. Did it for me by the name of Jim Quinn.
Wow. That's special. So,
Let me get my mic back on here. It took an awful long time. It took About 2 months, 2 hours every Sunday, about 2 months, and I drew everything as I went.
Okay, we're going to put that back
Up here.
on there. Because we're on the set, you know, this is what
Gotta do it
happens when
right.
you're on the set, you
Yep.
know.
Put it
I
back
mean, we
on.
could end up with a blooper.
Right, we don't want that.
So you help people feel better because if they had if they're mourning or grieving,
Yeah, it's like a closure.
yeah, closure, and
Yeah.
and it's memory of them, and so you're helping them feel better, and you sound like you have, you know, the passion is in your heart.
Yeah, that's why I do it.
That's why it's
I
your
don't
favorite.
do it for money. I do it for the passion, and it's my dream. And I truly believe you never give up. If you want to do something, you can do it.
And you mentioned to me before the show about the military,
Yeah.
that you
If there's
have a big.
anybody, yeah, if anybody has lost a parent, a mother, or a father, have lost their child in the military, I will give them a free memorial tattoo at my cost to them.
Why do you do that?
Because it means a lot to me. It's from my heart. It's from my heart. I mean, it gives them closure and they feel good. If you had lost a loved one and something that they liked would remind you of them every day, you put it right here where you can see it in the mirror every day and remember them. You know?
Do you recommend that people put their tattoos in certain places where they can be seen or partly seen?
Yeah, it depends. Males, nothing, everything goes for a man. I have a problem with if females want to put them in places like, recently I stopped doing the wrists.
Oh, why?
It's becoming an up and coming thing because the skin takes funny here and it gets wider and wider as you go, and I do not like the way they look. And
It's thin skin.
it's
there.
very thin skin, it's funny skin.
Tender.
It rejuvenates here, your skin rejuvenates.
Wow.
In your hand, and there's certain things on women that I don't want to do. I don't want to. First of all, I don't want to ruin someone's body. I would never ever. I've had females come to me, hey, Billy, could you do, you know, we're dealing with a female now. Could you do a panther or could you do a skull head in flames on my? And I will not do it.
So you would
not do it.
recommend?
I recommend. How
something-
about we do something with some roses, something more petite, something sexy, something beautiful.
Right.
I don't want to ruin someone's body making a bad decision, and I steer them out of that. And people that do know me know that's.
You're like a therapist in a way.
It's
It's therapeutic too, I would
Yeah.
imagine, for you to be doing it.
yeah, I like it. I like when they come to me, and they've seen my work, and people refer them to me, and they say, you know what? Here's an idea of what I have. You make it look good. I trust you. You do what you need to do.
Do you have any locations that when they come to you, where
I go right to them, right in your own house. The same thing as a party or a booking. Right now, I'm working on something right now to have my own studio. Hopefully next year.
Good. That's good. So you'll do both. You'll travel, go
Yeah.
do parties, and have a location.
Right, and
That's
do
good.
private sessions, and I do a lot of repairs. I have a lot of people that have tattoos that were done not to their likings or ruined by any reason, or fixer-uppers or recolors. I like taking,
Because they fade after a while.
yeah, I like taking the old ones and
Okay.
people beside themselves and won't wear, like, in the summertime, they wouldn't wear a nice halter top or anything because they have something on their shoulder or their body that they don't like. And I
Billy,
transform
what
it.
does it feel like to get a tattoo? I don't have one.
It feels like a very bad sunburn, or it feels like a bee sting.
Is it little? Just
As
little-
it goes away, the stinging goes away after you stop, but as you do it, it's like a bee sting or a sunburn. That's the best way to describe it. A paper cut.
Have you ever had anyone faint on you? I mean,
No,
faint.
two people got dizzy on me, but they had low blood sugar.
Okay.
So I try to make sure that everyone's eating the proper way because people do get anxiety out when they start. And what I do is I get them in the comfort of their own home. I get them comfortable and I say, look, before I even start tattooing you, I'm going to give you a test spot so that you can feel what it feels like.
Right.
And once I do that and touch them once with the needle, it's game on. They're relaxed and it's no big
So
deal.
they're like, oh, that's not so bad.
I was just going to say
Not
that
like
next. You
all
took the
I've
words right
heard.
out of my mouth.
What's
They're
all
like,
the commotion about?
are you kidding me? And then by the time I'm done, they're already picking another tattoo
Oh my gosh.
or booking
They
another
become-
appointment.
What about addictions? What
Oh.
about people that, have them everywhere, head to toe?
I'd probably say 5%. Once you get one tattoo, you will get more.
Now, tell me about a sleeve. You know, when people get a sleeve, do they do it all at once or
In sessions, because it's a lot of work. I mean,
hours? I would
yeah,
imagine.
being in pain is one thing. I mean, I did a cover up on a girl, and I did it for 4 hours, and she was a trooper. She took it all because she wanted it done. But it'd be good to do. You know, you're under body trauma and stress, and it probably wouldn't be a good idea to sit that long through anything. But
Right.
I would say do 2-hour increments. You know, 2 or 3 hours increment would be great. And a lot of the sleeves that people are doing are things that have meaning to them, or their life, or the way they grew up, or where they're going.
And
in
they're
life.
taking part in designing it, or they're
Right.
telling you, you know, this is sort of what I want and
Yeah,
what's
would
going
it look
on.
good, or would it go with that? So
and
we
then
go
you
back.
design it too.
Yeah, we go back
right?
and forth, and forth, and they'll come out with something that I'll say, well, if we put that there, then we're not going to be able to put something over here. So you got to work together as a team, and see it, basically see it done in the future. And if you don't see it done in the future, you could have a mess on your hands, and you only have one shot.
I know. Well, it can be removed,
Yeah.
but that costs a lot of
A lot.
money. It hurts probably more
Yeah.
than having a tattoo, I would
Yeah.
imagine, and
Yeah.
it leaves scarring too.
Yeah, it does.
So that's why it's good to know what you're
You
doing.
have to, and I tell everybody at parties or custom settings, you sure you want this? If you need another week, if you need another month, don't go racing and picking something that you might not like, because it's not worth it. In the long run, it's not going to go anywhere.
So, Billy, you must have so many stories, I can
have a
imagine,
ton.
because you know you're out there. You've been doing this for years.
Yeah,
So
8 years. Yeah.
for about 8 years. So, what comes to your mind? What kind of incredible story do you have?
I have two that come really quick to mind. One of them now is a girl from Burlington, right in this town. She has on her shoulder blade, on her right shoulder blade, she had a very big mole, a brown mole, and it bothered her. Yes, they could remove it. Did they? No, but they did. Her and her mom went and talked to her doctor, and they were thinking of doing something with a tattoo to it, to hide it or make it look different or something. So, with the doctor's permission, they came to me, made an appointment, and I turned a mole into a beautiful sunflower. And
Wow.
now she's so happy you don't even know.
Wow.
It's the feeling, it's overwhelming when you see the end result, when they're crying and they are so happy in the end. You changed their life for the better, or you gave them
Wow.
closure. Now she can wear a halter top or anything she wants.
That's a beautiful story.
The
Wow.
center of the flower
Wow.
is brown, the mole is brown. It's
Exactly.
raised a little bit, so it really looks like a cool
Like
three-dimensional
it's
tattoo.
a 3D
Yeah,
tattoo.
yeah. And
Wow.
she's right here in Burlington.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you take pictures of a lot of
Oh, I
different
have,
things.
Yeah, about
and-
600 of them on my phone alone.
Wow. So what else? I just want to keep hearing more stories.
I do, every couple months I do a tattoo contest on my Facebook. And what I do is I promote, give me a good story and give me a good reason why you deserve a tattoo. Not because you're pretty or not because it's sunny out. I get all kinds of funny emails, but there's a serious side of me too. I mean, I like to have fun, but I did one to a mom. I got a letter from a young girl that said, "Dear Billy, my mom stopped her world. I had a child. I had go through some rough times in my life. My mother stopped her world for me and made sure I was all right and then resumed her life. And she lost her mom, and she's always wanted a tattoo, a memorial of her mom, and she doesn't have much money. And it was a pretty long letter, lengthy, and she was a winner, so I contacted her, and she was so happy.
Wow.
Her mom was so happy. I gave her some ideas. I said, this is what I'd like to work with. And it ended up being a huge memorial tattoo for her mom. She has 2 or 3 children and a granddaughter. So her mother's favorite thing was a ladybug. I incorporated like 8 really good memory things on her back and designed this beautiful flower and stars. And she was so happy, she was crying when I was done.
Body art it's beautiful. I mean, we wear clothes
Yeah.
and makeup and jewelry and everything. So it's personal. So it's something. It's just we have, our life. Why don't we live it?
Well, yeah,
learn to
exactly.
live it. And if you have a fear, that's when
Overcome
you
it.
can overcome it, definitely. And maybe that will help you overcome certain fears
It
as
will.
well.
Tattooing's helped me out on my situation in the past. I was very sick last December. I didn't think I was going to make it. It was scary. And they told me I couldn't really work no more, so I was doing physical labor. They said, you're not going to do anything. I'm like, so I went back to my tattooing, and I tried to make it full time, and it made me survive through the winter.
Maybe it was a blessing.
It was.
Maybe it was like a sign pushing you in a certain direction.
And it pushed me and it carried me through the winter enough to just get by. And then again, I mean, if you have dreams and goals, set your standards high and just go get them. Don't let nobody stop you, because that's what I did.
Exactly.
And I love it every day, and it's fun. It's great to meet new people. It's great to feel the love and the warmth when somebody wants closure or needs closure, and you put it in tattoos. Back years and years ago, people just put tattoos of anything on, and back then you were like a motorcycle guy or a gangster or anything. It's changed so much. There's doctors, lawyers, nurses, any and all walks of life. I tattooed two 70-year-old women about 2 or 3 months ago. It was like tattooing a silk tissue. It was so hard, but I did it, and they were so happy.
What was like their skin?
Skin's very soft, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a challenge for me, and I
So
said, you know what I'm
soft.
gonna
So
do?
what's better skin for you is like a medium.
Everyone's skin's so different. Everybody is so different. Some people don't take ink well. Some people take it very, very well and strong. Some people reject. A lot of people reject red ink. Is
What
I've
happens
learned.
when you say reject?
Yeah,
What
it
happens?
doesn't heal right. It looks kind of funny.
So then what do you do?
You either go over it or leave it. You go over it and recolor it a little bit at a time
Okay.
and try to cover it up. But a lot of people reject ink. I haven't had anybody really allergic to any ink.
Is there a way that you can determine whether this person might not be a good candidate for red
No.
ink?
That's why when I tattoo somebody, I'll ask them, have you ever had a tattoo? If they tell me it's their first time, I go through all that with them. I let them know that.
You're Dr. Tattoo.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to be. I mean, I let everybody know the ins and outs and the do's and the don'ts. And
And you're
when
straightforward
I'm
with
straightforward,
people.
and I don't want to ever
Yeah.
ruin someone's body, because you can't change it. And I want everyone to be
Right.
as happy as they can be. But
Could you do a test patch, a test spot for
I've
red?
done it. I did it on my mother.
If you-
Not for red, but I'll do a test on people that actually are on blood thinners and things, and they're worried about if they bleed out. So I'll take the needle and I'll go in and do a test spot on them to see how they respond. And I've never had a problem. And they go right through it. Well, my mother was one of them, and I did a tattoo on her. She was all nervous, and people are calling their doctors. It's not, you're only going down.
So you treat everyone like you would treat your own mother.
Yeah. Yeah,
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would, I treat everybody like they're my best friend in the world, and I want them to remember that. That's why I am today where I am. I treat everybody like they're my best friend in the world. I want them to be happy. I don't want them to make a bad decision. And some people are like, come on, you're acting like my father. And I laugh.
So
you know.
you're here on the set today. Where will you be in a year?
Where will I be in a year? In a year, I hope to be, I will be up and running. I will have a studio, whether it's on the road or whether it's in a town. I'm working on something right now. I'm going to be very busy, and I'm just going to keep building my clientele day in and day out.
Very good, very good.
For every party I do, I pick up more and more friends, and everywhere I go, I see people that know me and like me. Hey, that's Billy Inkslinger, and and they go to the mall and they're
I like just
screaming.
the sound of that,
Yeah.
Billy Inkslinger.
Yeah, I love it. It's great. I mean, if you Google my name, some of my pictures show up. It's a great thing because it's like a nickname, but everyone will know it at the same time. It's unforgettable.
So what about your family? Your mother has a tattoo. Would you allow your kids to have tattoos?
I
What's
really
your
don't want my kids to have tattoos. I have a 16-year-old daughter
She's asking?
begging. Begging. I
And
said,
what do you
"But-"
say to her?
I said,
What
"Not
I mean,
not
now a
now."
lot of parents are out there listening.
Yep.
So
Not
coming
now.
from you.
I don't want her to make, a lot of kids at a young age are making bad decisions. I want her to make the right decision. I'd probably give her a small one that's petite and that can be hidden. I don't want tattoos up anybody for that matter, any female's necks or forearms. You need to be, a lot of people judge a book by its cover. If I come in here with a long sleeve shirt on today and did an interview with you about anything in general, and I come back tomorrow in a wife beater and sweatpants, people are going to look at me different.
You're right. You're right
Really
about that.
different.
Well, that's why clothing has a lot to do with your image,
Right,
you know.
right.
Dress for success.
Exactly. I could have come in today, I was thinking about getting a nice white button-down shirt, looking, you know, professional, but I am who I am, and I'm comfortable, and I want everyone to be just as comfortable when they're with me and when I'm tattooing them.
Exactly. You're who you are, and
Exactly.
that's. I have a feeling that you're on a very interesting journey ahead.
I am, and I like it. It can be stressful. A lot of people say, I want your job, your job's awesome. They're looking at my work, what I do and where I go. I love my job, and I love tattooing. It was a passion, and when I was a kid, I wanted to do it, so you know what? I made it happen.
Well, if I were going to get a tattoo, I'd rather come to someone that has a passion for it, that's
Right.
honest,
Right.
that, you know, really cares.
A lot of people take it as a career. I had a problem today with someone calling me out that I was.
It's not just about money, in other
Nope,
words.
they called me a scratcher or something. This guy called me as a tattoo artist. He has his own studio, and he called me out today, calling me basically I'm no good. But because I don't have a career in a studio, I do this from my heart, and I
Right.
wear my heart on my sleeve. I don't do this to make money.
You're different.
Right.
That's what I think will
It's
make
passion.
it's your strength will come from that.
Right.
It already is.
Yeah.
So.
I do it because I want to do it, and I do it because I like to see the end result. When you have somebody so happy in front of you when you're done, and they're truly amazed and so happy about it, you couldn't tear the smile off their face. And it lasts for weeks and ends. I could see someone I tattooed 3 months ago in the mall, walking down the street with my kids, and they're still smiling.
So you mentioned that you tattoo in a mall.
No,
Or you saw them
being
in a
out
mall.
in public, yeah. People
Could
coming
you
up to
do
me.
that, or
I could.
there are rules and?
Do I want to? No, I don't want to. I'm throwing ideas now. Do I want overhead? Do I want to have a big, expensive overhead that I don't need? I've never needed it, and that might interfere with my passion. It might interrupt.
You're
things.
right about that.
It could. It could be
You're-
very expensive. It could cost me everything, and I don't think it's going to be the same.
And when businesses grow too fast where they can't handle it, that's when they go
Fall
wrong.
apart.
And so just by being the artist that you are,
It's
it'll
me.
just follow. It'll just,
It's
develop.
me and me only. It's not if I become a great artist in due time, and I hire you in, it's not the same. You could be the best artist in the world. You are only one person, and what I produce and what I do, it comes from the heart. And I can't go open
That's
a
the
shop.
first thing you said to me when you walked in the studio.
Yeah,
It's all about your heart and
It is.
passion.
it is. It's not about the money. Believe me, because I'd be rich right now.
Well, people that do come to you are very fortunate.
Yeah.
And I have a
Thank you.
feeling that you're going to be spreading the word and making people feel more comfortable and less feared,
Yeah.
thinking about tattoos, because the history of tattoos is amazing, going back 5,000 years.
Yes, it is.
And what I've read about tattoos is that it started just by accident with
Right.
dirt getting into a wound.
Yeah.
So the kind of ink that you use, you're sure is very safe and
I researched it. I actually switched
They're
up my
different.
inks last year. I went with one of the better inks on the market. It's not even the, if a bottle of ink costs me $35 or $10, I'm going with, doesn't matter if it's 10 or 35, I'm going what's going to be the best for you. And then the ink that I use is used in some of the world-renowned places like Miami Ink.
it's worth it because
Yes.
it's your reputation. It's
Yes.
really worth it.
I try to get the best of the best and do the best of the best. And I give 110%, and I treat everybody like they're my own family. Because I know in due time, I'll build myself a clientele and a huge name as being a good person, a kind-hearted person, and a great artist. And that's the best business in the world.
Well, our viewers have heard it here with Billy Inkslinger, and you're going to be carrying on. You're just going to be getting stronger, and more people will come to you and spread the word.
That's what we hope.
And that's, you know, the power behind your needle, in
Yeah,
other words, right? Is that,
Yeah.
and do you use stencils or do you use,
I use stencils. I won't freehand on anybody, but I will draw it
Okay.
and put it on the stencil. I'll put it on the body and I'll edit it because I want you to see the stencil before I even start. Once you okay it, then I take over.
so you have stencils, but
Yeah.
what if somebody wants something special?
I scan it through. I have a thermal imaging machine. You
Okay.
can bring me some artwork, and I scan it and run it through and print it out onto my stencils.
So it has kind of an ink on it that will
Yeah, it's like, almost
transfer.
like carbon paper. It goes through
Right,
a thermal
right.
imaging. But I won't. I mean, I hand draw things. I'll use a medical, clean, sterile medical pen marker that they use in the hospitals, and I'll draw on you. And then once you okay it, I'll tattoo it in permanent.
Wow.
And everything I use is brand new, sterile. I don't autoclave. I don't clean. I buy brand new sterile products, needles, tubes, liners, the whole 9 yards, and I dispose of them. I don't reuse anything. I don't autoclave or steam clean anything because I just believe it's kind of on the dangerous side.
Oh, absolutely. That's
It's
good
all
to
brand
know.
new.
That's a
Yeah.
really good
It's key.
good
I'm
part
very
to know.
sterile. I have OCD very bad when it comes to stuff like that. I mean, I'm my own worst critic when I'm tattooing.
Well, obviously, it's a good reason that you have that. You
right.
know?
I'm my own worst critic when I start tattooing.
Yeah. So, is there anything else that you'd like to add to help people feel really comfortable if they've always been considering and they've shied away from it? What would you tell
It's all a fear.
them?
It's all anxiety. A lot of people, once they do get a tattoo, they don't stop. And it's all the initial,
Try it, you might like it.
yeah. Once you try it, you don't stop. It's funny because a lot of the people that are new to me and their first time tattooing, before they leave the party, they're in my books picking and trying to schedule an appointment for me again. That's great.
It's a great feeling.
Yeah. In your comfort of your own home, you do what you want. You have your friends around you. If you want to go in to a private room with me by yourself because you're nervous, we can do that. If it gets too loud, too noisy, you're in control of your own party.
I remember just one last thing before we wrap up on the set is a lot of people would go out in drunken,
Oh, yeah.
parties. What are your thoughts quickly on that?
It's not good. A lot of people, if I do a party and people are drinking, I really don't like to tattoo them at all because they for one, make bad decisions, and for two, they bleed. And they bleed out all the ink you're putting into them. And I don't want anyone moving on me or having, a little bit of rocky or having a good time. We can reschedule. But one party late at night, they were drinking all day and this girl wanted a tattoo and she picked out a teddy bear and I'm like, I can't do it, honey.
Good for
I
you.
cannot do it and I will not ruin your body. And you know what?
Yeah.
She never picked that again and never did it.
Thank you, Billy, for
Thank
joining
you.
us
It's
on the
awesome.
set. Thank you, everyone, and you've been a great pleasure to watch on the set with Jeanne Marie D'Amico.
Thank
Bye.
you very much.